Good morning to all. Welcome to our webinar where we are going to discuss about Oracle NetSuite ERP. So before going into the webinar, I would like to introduce myself. My name is Madhur Mohini and I'm a account manager at Kovaion Consulting India Private Limited. I have experience around a decade. I started my career with PeopleSoft, and currently, as I stated earlier, I'm account manager for Oracle Cloud applications which are being implemented or for any projects at Kovaion. Now, let me introduce Kovaion Consulting India Private Limited. So, Kovaion Consulting is a HR business transformation and technology solutions partner. Our inception is in 2010 and we are headquartered in UK, spread across in USA and in India. We are an Oracle Global Gold partner with specialized into HR automated solutions. We proudly announce that Kovaion Consulting is the first company to implement Oracle Fusion HCM in Asia Pacific Japan region. Adding few more points, Kovaion is an Oracle boutique shop with complete suite of Oracle PeopleSoft, HCM Cloud and NetSuite, and Kovaion has also expertise in Oracle implementations. Kovaion is one of the early partners of Oracle for NetSuite application. We have a rich HCM domain experience ranging from PeopleSoft, Oracle HCM Cloud and Taleo. We specialize in delivering world-class IT solutions across various industry verticals such as banking and financial services, IT and ITES, staffing, retail, education, and manufacturing. Before we get into the webinar further, I would like to add, please use the chat window for any questions. After the webinar, we will answer all your queries. Now, coming to the webinar, the topic which we are going to discuss today is the next ready financials, why fast growing companies adopt cloud financials to accelerate growth. Now, let me share the agenda for today. First of all, we will we will have introduction about NetSuite, an overview of NetSuite. Then we will discuss the state of business as of today, the application journey and the challenges which we faced. Then how can NetSuite help your business? Then after that we will give a sample case study and then the business values. So today I would like to introduce our presenter now. Our presenter is Mr. Archie Serrao. He is a business manager with Oracle NetSuite. He has experience of about 15 years in ERP industry into various roles with different products. Now let's see the NetSuite. So NetSuite is the first cloud company with 5,000 plus employees globally. It is one of the integrated platform for the entire ERP, CRM and PSA. It is having 40,000 plus organization and subsidiary globally, having its presence in 13 countries, and now it's a global business unit of Oracle. So we always highlight that NetSuite is for every size, every industry and in every part of the world. So that is evident from the screen which you can see now. Okay, in this slide, we can see a few more organizations using NetSuite. For example, whether it is a software, whether it is a service industry, an AMP industry, a non-profit industry, a manufacturing, a wholesale distribution, retail industry. We also have aviation industries using NetSuite. Now let's discuss the state of business today. So we have a startup state of mind. Then we see the opportunities which are around the world. Yes, we should be or must be responsive to change. Then we should have the power of data aggregation. And we can say every company is a cloud company. Now, after seeing the scenario of today's business state, I would request Mr. Orshi to take it forward with NetSuite's typical journey and how it will be exceptionally profitable for any organization.
So overall, the story, this is my favorite picture from a book called The Goal, written by area goal track. So here what we are trying to do in each and every function is more of a local optimization. What we are trying to do is how can I optimize my sales. Somewhere else we are talking about how will I optimize my finance team and how can I have some cost savings there. We are talking about operations. We are talking, in case it's the manufacturing, we are talking about your production process. If it is a wholesale and distribution kind of company, can I improve my supply chain? So in all these things, what we are doing is a very, very local optimization. But the point what I wanted to drive is when we look at a cash cycle, it is the time from where your lead is generated till you receive an invoice. There may be 5 processes in between or maybe 15 processes. The total cash cycle, if that is increasing, the local optimization will never help you. For example, in this picture, it really doesn't matter how a person called Ravi is walking around or any other person is faster than him. Just because one person is slowing down, the entire work in progress, which is your cash cycle, is increasing. So your local optimization may not give you the results the way they want. And considering your IT system, where we call it as a hairball structure, where everything is connected to every other thing, and you want to change one thing in this entire hairball. It is impacting all your systems. So, is there a way I can look at optimizing my cash cycle as a whole without focusing much on a local optimization? And that is where a system like NetSuite comes into picture. So, when we look at the challenges from the business side, what kind of challenges we are looking at? Maybe you have numerous systems, saying that you have a CRM system where your customer data is there. Again, you need a customer data into your financial system. Again, your marketing team is asking for the same data because they want to send some mailers and run some campaigns and that. So, the same data needs to be there in 5 different systems. Similarly, you have the old soil system, they don't talk to each other. And so it is very logical and that is what we want to do it, but still, systems are not capable of communicating with each other. Maybe one is on-prem and other one is cloud, or the technologies are not compatible, all these kind of things. Or you have numerous manual processes in between. Let it be on the approval side, let it be on communicating with each other's system. For simplest example is if you are using a tag and you are using a state-of-the-art manufacturing system or a distribution system. Though the entire SCM is handled there, you are adding a manual element somewhere as soon as the invoice is generated. So, or invoice needs to be generated. So that is where you are slowing down the process, and one manual error will change the entire landscape of the system or the optimization, whatever you have done. So then a lot of transactions will be tracked on spreadsheets. There will be revenue leakage because one may be inaccuracies in inventory tracking, inaccuracies in invoice, delay in sharing invoice. Without having a complete visibility, sales team is committing something and the other team is doing something else. So overall, there is a lack of complete visibility into what is happening in the entire world. So the entire adverse business impact in this particular matter is one, of course, the cost, because multiple system needs to be handled. You may not get the skill set and all those kind of things. But more importantly, your DSO is extremely high, which is your days of sales outstanding. So when we talk about the cash cycle, if the DSO is high, there is no point you are optimizing your CRM or a production system or anything else, because your cash cycle is already very, very long. And that is the thing which needs to be optimized and get a overall visibility. And then that is hitting your profitability. So this will lead to your issues with the customer, partners, suppliers, all those kind of things. So the bottom line, what I wanted to derive here is doing nothing also costs a lot for a business. And it is actually weakening your complete competitive advantage. Now, the other issue what we generally come across is multi-company, multi-currency kind of an environment where you have a HQ which wants everything in dollars, then you have a region called Americas or Asia Pacific where three different currencies needs to be considered. EMEA has a different currencies in terms of reporting. Then if you drill down one more level, inside a country you may have multiple subsidiaries. They want to report on a different level. And it is not only on the reporting side, on the legal compliance side also. For example, if you are operating 100% in India, you need to report everything in INR on a specific set of accounting rules. But when you consolidate it and give it to US as a headquarters, then you have a different set of rules for the same transaction. So, is there a way I can handle these kind of geographic expansion also? That is the other question which most of the companies face. So, overall, whenever we come across these 4 or 5 key challenges, that is when people start looking out for a new system. So, whenever there is an issue with the inventory, or if there is an issue with the financial management where there are multiple countries, all those kind of things, if you have an issue with the number of subsidiaries because there are different subsidiaries with a different GST rate or subsidiaries are across multiple countries, or is there an ease of access by the user. So, when you have these kind of challenges and when you look back into your existing system, these are the kind of things we look at, saying that it is very difficult to link multiple systems. To get just a snapshot, saying that the simplest example is if I have a CRM system where I want to know this particular customer, what is the current business I'm doing with him, vis-a-vis last quarter, vis-a-vis last year, same quarter, which is happening. How many invoices I have generated for him, what is the payment history, is it a good customer I can have, because he's asking for a higher discount, can I process the discount? Now, in this case, you have to go to your CRM system to get an order detail, you have to go back to your finance system where you are looking at saying that is there a visibility in terms of invoices, you are going back to your core operational system to check saying that what is the kind of bill of material I am looking at and what is the kind of profitability I may derive in a standard condition. So you need to go back to 4 or 5 systems just to get an idea saying that how this one customer of mine is performing over last 3 years. So these are some of the business drivers we came across where people are trying to change the systems. So now, considering these are the challenges and considering the things are moving in this way, or these are the drivers to change a system, why somebody should look at NetSuite as a complete end-to-end system for their business? So, one, it is designed for modern businesses. When I say modern businesses, it is something like you already have a line of business and you already have a set of systems which are running for you and you are extremely happy with it. But as soon as you expand in terms of geography or if in terms of your product line, a new product line is added, or you are trying to get into a completely different line of business, but it is still a part of the same business. So, whenever you look for expansion, scalability, geographic expansion, that is where NetSuite becomes a very, very powerful tool for any of the modern businesses. I'll explain you how it helps in the subsequent slides. Second, NetSuite is the only ERP who comes with the built-in platform capability. So when we talk about platform, it is more to do with your day-to-day operations, because what we observe in many of the ERPs is you have certain requirements when you start with that ERP, but as business grows, for example, simplest thing, you would have, when the implementation happens, you would have decided saying that I want to track the revenue per, say, region, saying that I have only 2 regions or 3 regions, saying that I have a south region, I have a west region and north region. Now your requirement has changed because your business has expanded, more and more people have come on board and you want to check the performance per state, for example. Now, how easy it is to build that particular capability into the system and change all your reports with that. That is where NetSuite platform capability comes into picture, where we help you to do it all by yourself. All you need to do is go to that page and say, add this one page, field called region. And that's generally a business analyst within the organization who can understand the system can do it. And then add that field into the reporting. Immediately, that report starts reflecting those kind of changes. The next one is on the unified data model, which delivers the business intelligence for all. So, two things here. One, NetSuite can be a single platform for the entire lead to cash process. It can be for any of the industry verticals, starting from a lead where you start with your customer till the time you receive the payment. Anything happens in between can be handled on a single platform. And there is an operational BI inside the system which helps you to extract reports, dashboards, graphs, to understand the trends more better. So that is what NetSuite offers. Now coming to the modern commerce, NetSuite supports you with the omni-channel, saying that your orders can come from any source. It can come from a phone, it can come from an email, it can come from a website, or even it can come from any of the online portals. Those kind of things should be able to get into NetSuite. And most important thing is NetSuite is very, very verticalized solution. For example, if you are a part of the software industry, there is a specific solution designed for you, which includes from your lead to cash, including your project management, resource management. In case, if you are a part of advertisement industry or a media industry where your charter is more from having your online presence and you want to subscribe to ads, you want to sell ad space and all those kind of things, there is a specific solution for you. If you are a manufacturer, there are specific solutions. If you are a retailer, there are specific solutions. So take any industry. NetSuite helps you to have a very, very specific industry solution for your industry. Now, what if your company is working for more than one industry? So what we have observed is there are, for example, services companies who have IT services and also have a distribution arm where they are selling servers and all the other related products. But from a business side, these are independent industries. So can two industries coexist for the same product in the company? Yes, that is quite possible. So that's where NetSuite comes into picture. Now, to summarize what NetSuite is, first, it is a cloud first and a cloud only kind of a solution what we have. Second, it has a global core in terms of you can have any number of countries with any number of currencies, and still you can have a local, for example, taxation for each and every country, and then you can add it up in terms of having multiple currencies and for reporting on different accounting standards. So, for example, we have something called multi-book accounting. So, your requirements in India for the same transaction may be different, whereas when you are reporting it in Singapore or US, the US GAAP says, this particular transaction needs to be reported in a different way. So, can I treat a single transaction in two different ways without need to do additional transactions? Yes, system supports that also. And most important thing, it can support any emerging business model. So that is the strength of NetSuite, and that is where we call ourselves as more of a business partner than the product, because we can support throughout your journey in any of the software, any of the newer business models which are coming. Now, on a very high level, what are the industries we take care of? So we take care of software industry, which is your software product development and any associated products with that. Services can be any type. It can be IT services, it can be a professional services, it can be any other services industry. We can take up or partner with you for your advertisement business. We have a separate offering for non-profits. Now, manufacturing, wholesale, distribution, and retail have a very, very niche industry-specific solutions. Again, media and publishing is also one of the verticals where we have a very niche solution. Now, about this, we have something called Build for NetSuite. So there are a lot of elements in NetSuite which can be used by a lot of industries, but it is more like the simplest example what I can offer you is more of a platform, which is like an Android or an iOS platform, where the base product owner is giving you certain capabilities. But all the partners who are certified with NetSuite are allowed to build their own applications on top of that, which are serving very, very niche solution. One example is we came across a customer where who is an energy customer, where he wanted to do a billing which is more of a consumption-based billing. So NetSuite directly may not address those kind of things, but there will be apps available on the platform who can get this done. So similarly, maybe for a field sales where geotagging is required, there are apps. So you may have any requirement, there will be some of the other apps available in the, we call it as Suite Exchange. You can go there, look for that app, download it, pay for it, and start using it now. On the other side, what we are offering all the key performance indicators very specific to that role. So if you are a CEO, you have a set of KPIs. If you are a CFO, you have a set of KPIs. If you are a sales manager, you have a set of KPIs. Now, the beauty of NetSuite is it is not dictated by NetSuite. It is left to you saying that one, what KPI you as an individual want to see. And second, in case if there is no direct KPI available, it allows you to define your KPIs and put it on your dashboard. So you can decide your own KPIs even if it is not delivered by you. Second one is dashboards, where you can have a completely configurable dashboard. Even you can create your own report by few clicks and float it on the dashboards. For example, the simplest example we give is maybe you have you want to have an outstanding report on the account receivable person who is handling that particular role. So you can create that report and directly float it saying that these are the outstandings and these are your KPIs which you need to handle. Now, it is a very role-specific system where you can assign a role. For example, if somebody from AR is on leave and the AP guy is handling AR for a week, all you need to do is just assign the role and he gets all those relevant accesses associated with it. Then you have a workflow engine, we call it a Suite Flow, where you can define your own workflows. There is NetSuite as a system, we do not dictate or push you saying that this is how it needs to be done. And more importantly, we allow you to have that additional workflow decided by you and created by you inside the system. For example, today you have a 2-level approval for a specific invoice process, right? So tomorrow you are changing your organization structure and you want to have it 3 levels or 4 levels because you have a regional head now, you have a country head now. All those people also need to be approved or informed. It allows you to go to that page and it is more like drag and drop functionality where you can modify your workflow to suit your requirements over a period of time. There is no need for you to come back to either NetSuite or to the implementation partner for any of these. Next is the integrations where we provide an open API, or maybe I think I have a slide which talks about the integration part more in detail. In the Suite apps we already spoke about, and the thousands of hours of pre-configuration and everything is built on the leading practices. So that's what we have. Now, since we spoke about multiple countries and multiple currencies, we have around 170 countries where NetSuite is deployed, and we do a tax computation for more than 100 countries. Over 200 territories are transacted on this, and around 190 currencies are updated on a daily basis, so that you don't need to worry on any of these elements, and it allows you to focus more on your business side. Now, let's take a moment to understand what NetSuite as a whole offers. And all these things come on a single platform. So, to start with, on the financial accounting side, your general ledger, receivables, your taxation, fixed assets, the cash management, everything related to finance, which is more of a platform case. Now, take the billing side of it, any type of billing. It may be your standard billing, it may be a subscription-based billing or advanced subscription-based billing. All those kind of things can be managed. Now, going to the revenue management, if you have a recurring revenue which needs to be managed, if you want to recognize the revenue over a period of time, if you want to have a revenue recognition schedule, if you have a contract into the system, can I manage this contract, can I automatically uplift this contract from the next renewal period, my subscription should change, everything related to revenue management will also be there. Coming to your financial planning, it is more of a walk-up kind of an analysis. The simplest example, we were working with a leading hotel in India, and financial planning exercise, what they wanted is, for example, what if I want to add 10 more hotels next year? How will my revenue changes over next 5 years? Or the cost changes. What if I expand it to a new territory? Can I have that complete what-if analysis with a comprehensive reporting and multi-currency support? So that's what this financial planning is all about. Then there is financial reporting in terms of global compliance. And the most powerful thing what NetSuite offers you is automatic consolidation within subsidiaries, within the country, across currencies, all those kind of things. And you can decide your multiple outputs. For example, India, this is how the consolidation should happen. For some other country, this is how it should happen, and this is how it should be reported. So these all come as an out-of-the-box feature. It is just an additional module which you need to subscribe. Then the next one is on the global accounting and consolidation, where it is a multi-currency, multi-company system with multiple language. Most important thing is configurable tax engine. You go to any country, there will be, if it is a major country, you will have a taxation engine already configured for that country with a localization. If it is not there, then you get a configurable tax engine which can be configured according to your. Now, if we go more on the ERP side, it is complete order to cash, procure to pay kind of a thing, where quote to order can be managed, your billing management, your order fulfillment. Then if we go to procurement, it can be a purchase requisition to RFQs. Even you can float request for quotes, where people can apply for that online, and all those kind of things will come into picture. Automatically inside the system, you can decide who is your L1 vendor or L2 vendor and make him as a preferred vendor for that specific SKU, so that things will happen automatically, and then automatically have a rate contract with them, or a purchase contract, or a blanket PO, left to you how you want to do it. Now, going to inventory, it can handle every inventory element in terms of cost management, order fulfillment, inventory visibility, all those kind of things. You can have a detailed production system where product data management to planning and scheduling to work orders to MIS, your warehouse management, or even your supply chain management, which is more of a planning, collaboration, execution. Next 2-3 things. One is on the CRM side, which is complete Salesforce automation, your marketing automation, your partner relationship management can be handled in NetSuite. We have core HRIS and payroll, though it is not available, rolled out to India as of now, but it is still in the pilot phase in US. And then what we have is a detailed project management. It can be a project management, resource management, project accounting, time and expense, billing, everything will be handled in this element. So these are on a very high level what NetSuite offers as a product. Now, just to give you a feel, because I came across a lot of companies who are saying okay, we have so many transactions on a daily basis, can you handle, will the performance will be slow, all those kind of things. NetSuite as a cloud, we are processing more than 186 million plus invoices on a daily basis. We are handling more than 156 million sales orders on a daily basis. We add around 9 terabytes of data to our data centers. So it is left to you saying that how many transactions you want to handle as a part of NetSuite. Now, platform, we already spoke about it in terms of you have a capability to customize the application, because this is one thing we realize saying that whenever we talk about cloud, the biggest roadblock what we have is in terms of customization, because everybody believes their process is sacrosanct and they want to have the process or the documentation or the anything they want to have as a part of their current system should continue in a new cloud system. That is where NetSuite come into picture in terms of highly customizable cloud systems. Second one is flexibility to implement your competitive edge, which is more like if you believe this is your competitive edge and that is why your business is so successful, you can have that. And then the integration is the open integration. There is no extra charges on the APIs. It can practically integrate with any other cloud system. Then you have the infinite grid compute. The standard case study what we talk about, or the most famous case study, is I think you would have heard about a company called GoPro, which makes mostly the cameras and all those kind of things. They subscribed to NetSuite when they were, I think, around 6 people or 8 people, when they were still running out of a garage where they are trying to understand their business model. As of today, there are a couple of billions spread across multiple countries, multiple continents, to be frank, with n number of partners. Everything today, or even today, is handled on NetSuite. So it is a journey with them for, I think, last 12 odd years, and they are still using NetSuite, extremely happy with it in terms of its capability. So whenever you look at scale, whenever you look at expansion, NetSuite is the obvious choice for various reasons. Now, this is just a snapshot of what you can expect in NetSuite. One, it is completely dashboard driven. One. Second, it is completely browser based, so you can use it literally on any of the any of the handheld devices. It can be an iPad, it can be a phone, iPhone or Android, doesn't matter. Now, it also comes with automatic native app for both Android and iOS, both for your smaller phones or for the tablets. And for the computers, it is a completely browser-based, so you don't need to install anything, or you are not machine dependent. It is mostly go anywhere kind of a software for you. Now, this is the integration I wanted to just highlight. So take any of the third party. So though we talk a lot on the single platform, but for example, if you are extremely happy with Salesforce.com and want to continue them as your CRM, you can just use them and integrate with NetSuite, and there will be a built-in integration available. If it is not there, you can get it done through a partner who is there, or there will be a suite app available. So any system you want to integrate, almost any that system can be integrated here. Should not be a problem. So we can be the ecosystem for you, or we can be a part of your ecosystem. Choice is yours. Now, in terms of scalability, security and reliability, we are audited by almost every other certification possible. Our security is almost at par with the security what is there for your online banking. So that is the security what we talked about. Now, in terms of reliability, we are offering you 99.95% on paper performance. So Every year we perform way above that. So this is the actual performance. And most important thing is we actually publish this information on public domain. If you go to say status.netsuite.com, you can see all the data centers of NetSuite and what is the performance of the site. So, this is a snapshot of that. So I just wanted to talk on the project management bit also a little bit. We have over 1,300 customers who are, or software companies who are using specifically NetSuite for their end-to-end requirements, starting from their CRM, which is lead generated, and whenever a lead is matured to an opportunity, automatically it is forecasted. A project that can be created against it, then the finance team can go and check for the EBITDA and provide approvals. It can come back to your delivery teams or RMG team to have your resource forecasting automatically done. Once the resource is onboarded, then it goes to project manager who can assign them tasks, look at the project profitability, automatically do the revenue recognition, have the contract renewals done, and then in case if you have an AMC contract for 12 months and you want to split it across 12 months, that also can be automatically done. If anybody wants to fill timesheet and expenses to hit your project profitability, any issue tracking associated with this, for example, bug tracking and all those kind of things, and complete delivery cycles can be handled by a single platform. So these are few things which I wanted to summarize this entire presentation with. In terms of why cloud and why NetSuite, first one is the cost element of it. In terms of having the server in-house, incurring that cost once in 3 years or 5 years, keep upgrading it. By the time you upgrade the hardware, software loses its shelf life and support is ended, then you go for a software upgrade, then again, software doesn't support the hardware. None of those kind of things will be there. One. Second one, ability to access from anywhere, wherever you have an internet connectivity in a very, very secure manner. You don't need to have the additional cost for VPN tunnels in your system. Third, each subsidiary is different. The functionality required is different. Can I have one system behave as per the local laws vis-a-vis the global laws? That is where NetSuite comes into picture. The last one is on the web store capability, where you can integrate with your existing web store and run your commerce as easy as possible. Then, what are the key evaluation criteria for NetSuite? Is one, the ease of upgrade, because we are one of the few companies who proudly say all my 40,000 plus customers are running on the same version. We release 2 major upgrades every year and then the patches wherever required. But whenever an upgrade is released, it is free of cost, even to everybody. Automatically, every customer is upgraded free of cost. One. Second one is on the cost side. If you take the complete total cost of ownership for the NetSuite, it's way lower than most of the enterprise applications you are looking at. Third one is on the reporting capability, and MIS is the most important part for any of the business decisions, where you can have a self-service reporting where you can create or modify your own reports, and all the reports will include that. So now, why NetSuite? One, it is extremely simple, because we have something called Google inside NetSuite. For example, if you have an invoice, you can just type the invoice number, it shows you that particular invoice. If you don't know, the biggest challenge in any of the ERP situations is the adoption part, and that is where NetSuite completely simplified it. For example, you don't know how to navigate to invoice page. All you need to go and say, I will page invoice, it will automatically open that page for you. So you don't need to remember how to navigate within the system, how to do things. It will automatically guide you step by step. One. Second one, single source of truth, because everything is on a single platform. So That is where you can rely on one system to have all these things automatically. And third one is it's a very, very comprehensive solution irrespective of which vertical you are in. So these are 6 business benefits I wanted to call out, saying that cost effectiveness, the flexibility and scalability. For example, if you are a 500 people company today with a vision saying that I want to be a 5,000 people company down the line 5 years, we can have all these kind of things. You can have the global accounting, multi-country, multi-currency, the customization are reserved upon upgrade. No version locking. You don't need to worry saying that which version. So down the line 15 years, if you are still using NetSuite, you are still on the most current version. And the real-time visibility and most important thing, the deployment time. Generally, typically our deployment time is 3 to 4 months, not more than that. So with this, I wanted to open the floor for any questions, whatever you have. Type it out on the chat window and maybe I'll try to address.
Yeah, you can type on the chat window for any questions. Archie, we have a question from Murgavel. The question is how it is compete with SAP HANA.
Great. So SAP HANA, these are 2 completely different industry segments altogether, because SAP HANA is more for a very, very large enterprise. We call it as multi-billion-dollar enterprise. Where NetSuite is the product across all the verticals. So feature-wise, we are extremely strong in terms of vertical focus, where HANA is designed for those 1 or 2 core areas whichever SAP is restricted to. So that's why I pulled out the slide in terms of industry, saying that yes, HANA covers manufacturing and a couple of other things, but we cater to much wider in terms of industries. We cater much wider in terms of revenue segment, startup to the enterprises, and most important thing is the price element. I think will be way cost effective than SAP HANA.
Thanks, Archie. So, Murgavel, I believe this answers your question. We have one more question from Mr. Ranji, and his question is, NetSuite have any solutions for point of sale?
Point of sale in India we do not have. We are still working on a partnership model with somebody. But yeah, I think we have already finalized the point of sale in Australia and US. So we do have it there. But India, I think it should come in very near future, say 1 quarter or something like that.
Okay. Thank you. So guys, any other questions? Requesting you to please use the chat window. Okay, we have one more question from Murgavel, and his question is, NetSuite can be compared with SAP BYD as we came across competition in many places.
Correct. BYD is the right comparison in terms of comparing NetSuite to BYD, because both of them are pure cloud, similar architecture, similar offerings. So yeah, I don't want to talk anything bad about SAP on a webinar, so maybe we can take this offline in terms of comparison. Any other question, guys?
Yeah, we have one more question from Ms. Neha. Her question is, what is the NetSuite presence in insurance?
We do have a few customers in insurance, but the challenge is, if the question is data residency, and I think that is the core question what most of the Indian insurance companies are asking. So in that case, we generally ask them to go with Oracle Fusion because you can have the data residency issue resolved. NetSuite may not be a best fit for insurance in terms of data residency, considering data residency questions.
Thank you. Oh, we have one more question from Mr. Ranjit. How the integration with online payment can be done?
If it is a gateway or if it is payment is done through a gateway, you can have that invoke that file and get the integration done. Maybe I'll connect you to the FCT for all the integration related questions because payment can be handled through that gateway.
Thank you. So one question from Mr. Sheikh. Does it cover CRM order management?
Yes. It is an end-to-end CRM, starting from the lead to the order. And once the order is created, then it automatically moves to your operational stages till the invoice. So anything happens with the anything happens in the CRM will be available across, including the order management to the delivery to the payment. So everything will be there.
Thank you. One question from Mr. Karthik Mehta. How can I get the demo and all the functionality which will be helpful for FMCG industry?
Right. So what I can do is I will connect you to. Can you drop me an email? Maybe I'll type out my email ID here and drop me a note. I will ask the correct guy based on the territory and the vertical to reach out to you so that they can schedule the demo for you. Will that help?
Yeah, he has given an sure. Thanks, Archie. Mr. Sheikh has one more query. What about production, admin, and pricing? I'll just refer to his older question so that we can connect with the question. So earlier he asked, does it cover CRM order management? Now his question is, does it cover production, admin, and pricing?
I did not understand the second question. Are you asking about the NetSuite pricing or your product pricing?
Okay, he's talking about product admin.
Product admin is, see, the way NetSuite is designed is all the users are just users. It is left to you what kind of access rights you want to give it to the system, give it to that particular user ID. So if you want to make him as an admin to the system, it is left to you, or you want to just treat him like a sales guy, it is a different role. So that's where I said the entire system is a role-based system which can help you with what do you say? You can decide what role should be given to whom.
Thank you. I think this solves your query, Mr. Sheikh. Mr. Ranjit has one more question. Does NetSuite have any solution related to aviation sector?
If the question is more from the product fitment, I'm not sure what is the requirement in the aviation, but we have customers like Scott Airlines based out of Australia who is using NetSuite. But I think it is more of a very niche thing. If we are talking about order management, can I pull out the order from the web store and then process it from a financial side? Yes. From the CRM side? Yes. So it depends what exactly is the requirement in that particular.
Okay, we have one more question from Ms. Neha Raikar. Since NetSuite is closely integrated with Click, etc., then how are the new technology on analytics or BI being provided?
Now, what is Click?
What is the use of Click? It's a report.
Okay, so sorry. So the way it works is there are two things. If the question is on the operational BI in terms of understanding end-to-end within your operation, then NetSuite gives you a built-in analytics platform where you can define your reports and all those kind of things. Now, if the question is more, can NetSuite do predictive? No. Whatever is the choice of tool you have, where the integration is required, will integrate and provide the data you need to do predictive and that particular platform. So we do not build models, we do not build predictive analytics. It is more of an operational BI what we offer you.
May I hope this answers your question? Thank you. So any other questions, guys?
So I'm just typing out my email and maybe I'll share Kovion's email also. So if you have any questions, just drop a note to us so that we will get back to you. And I think there was a demo request also which I can connect to the right partner or right team within Oracle who can talk to you and help you out to get the answers in terms of a demo and all those kind of things. They generally ask for a discovery to understand your business more in detail so that we can have a relevant demo instead of having a blanket demo and then fine-tuning during the next demo. We'll rather do the first demo right. So they may ask for a discovery, so please bear with us. And write to us if you have any questions any point in time. Okay, so thank you guys. Thanks from my side for joining and listening to me. So over to Madhu.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks for joining the webinar. I hope this resolves your queries for NetSuite, and you can write to any one of us for a demo as Orchi had said earlier. Thank you.
Thank you guys. Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot.
Bye.